Good morning and welcome to the episode of the AddDrop Podcast. We continue our spin through the world of the Big South softball previews. I am joined by the head softball coach at Longwood University, Dr. Megan Brown, grad grad student, utility player Avery Drake. Doc Brown, Avery, good morning. How are you?
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for
No
having
problem.
us.
No
Good.
problem.
How are you doing?
Dr. Brown, last time we spoke, I asked you how long would it take you to get back into game shape? Is that time the same amount, which is about a month, or would you need a little longer to kind of play in a few games?
Oh, I need like a 5, 10 years now. I think every year I've been out, I need that many to get back in.
Avery, when you look at the just the softball experience, what has been your favorite part?
I think just the girls and the coaches make a big difference. I wouldn't trade this for the world. I tell everybody if I had 5 more years of softball, I would take it. And that's not a lie. I'm not exaggerating. I love being around it. Just the sport is fun to me and being around the best people.
Now, Dr. Brown, as someone who's had a just career as a player, now a coach, before the season start, do you get that anxious feeling, or is it just, just is what you've done for so long, it doesn't really it's not really a nerve-wracking experience?
I think I don't get excited for season, I probably need to make a career change. Uh, there's an anticipation. It's almost like being a little kid at Christmas again. If you're not looking forward to season and ready to get out there and play, kind of got to check if you're okay, still doing all right.
Now, Avery, as a utility player, what is your favorite position to play and why?
Well, last year, if you asked me, I would have said middle infield because I was a middle infielder. But right now, I would say outfield because I'm an outfielder. So I really just love every position. Anywhere I'm needed, I'll go and I'll enjoy every bit of it.
Doc Brown, you have 11 new players. How will you integrate them into the team culture and kind of ensure that there's a not just a buy-in, but an understanding of what you're trying to accomplish?
I mean, we kind of include everybody from day one. A big thing for us is just adding layers. So, what are we teaching today? The whole team learns it or relearns it, if you will. But also, our returners and upperclassmen do an amazing job welcoming our new players on campus every year. They reach out to them before they get on campus. So, I feel like a lot of that is really attributed to the young women we have on our team of bringing them into the family very early as they can, and just really teaching them a lot from the get-go.
Agree. When you look at, like Doc Brown said, as a upperclassman, what piece of advice, like major piece of advice, would you give to not just a freshman, but an incoming player into making sure that they kind of understand what the expectations are?
I think the biggest advice I can give is just come with the chip on your shoulder. Be confident and walk around like this isn't your first year. Like we've all played softball all our lives. We know what all we can do. So just hold your head high, walk with some confidence.
Doc, when we spoke last year, we spoke about how dealing with a loss and how you're able to just you kind of you said that you understood the loss, but you also understand there's a next game to kind of prepare for. That next game mentality, how difficult is that to impart upon your players to make sure they kind of understand that too?
I think as the head coach goes, so goes the team in a lot of ways for that. And making sure that it's stuff we talk about. That's one of the things that we talk about as a program. Just put it on top of the table. Let's put it on top of the table and let's talk about stuff. Kind of like a family meal. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about it, and the good and the bad. So it's like, what do you love, what do you hate? And let's just work through it. So to me, it's a lot of just transparency, just being authentic with the team. Sometimes like that stunk. Like there was nothing good in that we like, but we can sit here in it or we can move forward with it. And what do we want to take with us and what do we want to leave here? And so we just kind of talk through things.
Avery, what did your first season as a Lancer teach you as far as how Doc Brown's expectations are and what the team culture is.
I knew whenever I committed here, the expectations were very high. I saw the schedule, the competitive schedule, and I was here for it. I know we play the best of the best, and that's exactly what I wanted to be a part of. And that's it. We want to be the best. We got to compete with the best.
Doc, to kind of piggyback off that, the answer, in playing a tough schedule, you definitely will play the toughest teams. Do you look for how the team responds in games, or do you look for the results, or a combination of both?
Combination of both. I think it's very hard to get a full picture with just one snapshot. So, for better or worse, I'm very analytical and I want to gather as much information as I possibly can before we react or make decisions. So, just making sure that we're looking at all aspects of the game, all the parts and pieces, and what's the most important thing that we address moving forward.
Avery, what surprised you most about the competition level in the Big South?
Every team in the Big South is very competitive. Everybody brings something different to the table, and we just have to compete better. We have to know what we're good at and use that to the best of our abilities.
Kind of speaking off the same, as you have continued to coach in the Big South, do you find the competitions increased every year as far as the competition level and the ability of each team?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's indicative of the RPIs in the conference. You know, the conference RPI has gone up, I think, 7 places in my time here, nationwide. So, yeah, you feel it on the field and you see it in the numbers.
Avery, as a Texan and used to stellar barbecue, have you found any spots that are close to campus that are good barbecue spots, or there's just nothing like home?
Okay, well, there is nothing like home, but I will give it to Fish and Pig. Fish and Pig is a great little barbecue spot, and it's low key, and so I didn't find it until I want to say my second semester last year. I know. I can't believe it took me so long, but it's a good little hangout spot for me, my teammates, and my family whenever they come down.
This question for you. Who wins the Super Bowl and why?
Who wins the Super Bowl?
Hmm. I
Out
guess
of
for both of you. It's the Bills and Chiefs, and it's the Eagles and the Commanders. Which one of those four teams wins the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna say the Eagles would win. I feel like they have a really good record. And then I think the Chiefs are really good. I just know Patrick Mahomes has a really good arm slot. I just know that. I just know.
Doc, when you're not on the field or recruiting or just in the office, how do you get away from the game?
My family, my faith and my family are kind of the things that ground me the most. I love to travel. So those are kind of the things that keep me as sane as I'm gonna get.
Now, Doc, a kind of follow-up question. You mentioned faith. How does your faith drive you not just to be a better coach, but a better human being?
I would say my faith defines me as who I am. You know, you're a child of God. Bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. You can't really beat that of how loved we are and how cared for we are and how forgiven we are. We've received so much grace and so much love. Um, how could I not want to extend that to others when I've been given so many things there? So I don't know how to answer it any other way.
You know, head coach of Longwood University, Dr. Megan Brown, grad utility player Avery Drake, Doc Brown. Avery, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the AddDrop Podcast.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much
much.
for having us.